Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zachley, and welcome back to the channel. We got a lot of things to talk about today though, so as you guys are coming in, be sure to go ahead and destroy that like button as it does help the channel grow. But with that being said, let's take a look at everything we got to talk about today. First up in the news, ever since DAngelo Russell was traded from the Nets to the Warriors as part of the sign and trade deal involving Kevin Durant, it's been widely speculated that the Warriors only acquired DAngelo Russell in that trade to use as a trade piece later down the line. And that's because the Warriors already have two backcourt superstars in Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. So the thought is, why on earth would they also need DAngelo Russell? However, that being said, the more and more DAngelo Russell as well as the Golden State Warriors continue to talk about their expectations and how they feel going into this new marriage, the less and less likely it sounds that DAngelo Russell will end up being traded. And we got more reports out yesterday compounding the fact that DAngelo Russell very well could be with the Golden State Warriors for the long haul. As Ethan Strauss of The Athletic just said this, there's a strong possibility the Warriors actually want their newest big acquisition for seasons beyond this one. The front office leaders, Joe Lacob and Bob Myers, are both as smitten with him as any team that just selected a top 5 player in the draft. Myers has heard the assessments of his trade and they appear to be great on him. And Ethan Strauss continued on to say this as well. After doing a little digging, I've come to buy the Warriors front office on this one. I believe that the Warriors public messaging actually matches their private beliefs. While it's nice to retain the optionality that comes with signing a 23-year-old max player, I don't think it was primarily acquired for his trade value. The front office's first hope is that Russell flourishes alongside Curry and becomes a foundational piece. Now, of course, any or all of this could change as the season progresses and we really see how DAngelo Russell fits in the Golden State Warriors offense alongside Stephen Curry. But for now, it does sound like that the first option for the Warriors is to keep DAngelo Russell long term. And personally, I think this does make sense. See, DAngelo Russell is still just 23 years old and is years away from reaching the prime of his career, as he won't be ready to enter the prime of his career until his contract with the Warriors is up. And then on the other hand, you have Stephen Curry, who is still very much in the prime of his career, but at the same time, he's also now on the wrong side of 30 at 31 years old, meaning that by the time DAngelo Russell's contract is up with the Warriors, Stephen Curry is going to be 35. And while Curry is a player that I think could still be very productive at 35 years old given his style of play, the Warriors then will definitely want to have someone to pass the torch along to. And I think for them, that's what they're hoping DAngelo Russell can be. Someone that Stephen Curry can pass the torch to carry the franchise into the future after his time is said and done. Next up in the news, for 2 years in a row now, Andrew Wiggins has been a player that fans have been expecting to break out and live up to the tremendous potential that he has. Unfortunately though, instead of Andrew Wiggins breaking out these past 2 years, the opposite kind of happened, where instead of progressing, Andrew Wiggins was regressing. And a lot of fans have begun to lose the faith that Andrew Wiggins can live up to the expectations that have been placed upon him. Now entering into the 2019-2020 NBA season though, Andrew Wiggins seems ready to put that behind him and even has an excuse or reason as to why things didn't quite work out for him these past couple of years. As he said, changes within the organization, namely hiring Tom Thibodeau as the president of basketball operations and the coach, kind of set him back. Here's a listen to what Andrew Wiggins had to say. I can get better. There's always room for improvement. I feel like the first 3 years I was on the rise and getting better and better. And then as changes were made, I feel like there was a little decline. And now here's the part where he clearly takes a shot at Tom Thibodeau, as Tom Thibodeau has been known to be a coach who likes to yell a lot throughout his entire coaching career. Here's what Wiggs said about Tibbs. All the yelling and stuff, I feel, is not really going to help change my mood. But when a coach comes to me and is real and tells me the real, I feel like I respect that a lot more than anyone just yelling. I feel anyone can yell, anyone can raise their voice, but not a lot of people can be real. So that goes a long way with me. Like I said, that was a direct shot at his former coach, Tom Thibodeau. And notice how I said former coach, because of course, Tom Thibodeau was let go by the Wolves midway through this season. So that being the case, the yelling shouldn't be a thing that affects Andrew Wiggins too much anymore. So now that that excuse is gone, this has to be the year that Andrew Wiggins gets back on track and starts to revive the once superstar potential that we all thought he had. And for the sake of Minnesota, I really hope he does. For our next story of the day. Now, we all know that Chris Paul will eventually find his way out of Oklahoma City, either as a trade or as some part of unprecedented massive buyout. However, while we can't expect Paul to be traded at some point, there's also another player that could very well be traded by the Oklahoma City Thunder this season as well, and that player is none other than big man Steven Adams. As we got reports out last night saying that the Thunder are actively exploring trade possibilities for Steven Adams, but the only thing is that what OKC is asking for in return currently, being a mix of young players and draft picks combined with a monstrous salary of Adams, that trading him is a lot easier said than done. Here's exactly what the report had to say though. They set the price too high. That's what you'd expect, and maybe it will drop as the year goes on. It's tough to take on his 2-year $53 million contract and give up picks and players. Most teams are pretty well set at the center spot now. You have a big guy and you have your small lineup. You can't just take a contract on like that. There isn't a big number of teams who could take him. However, that being said, we also got more reports out yesterday saying that the Sacramento Kings are still interested in trading for Steven Adams. Now, the Sacramento Kings had expressed interest in trading for Adams earlier on in the summer, but trade talks died down extremely quickly once Sacramento learned what OKC was valuing Adams at. They weren't willing to give OKC what they were asking for, and that's why trade talks died down. However, Sacramento still has that interest, and they're just waiting to see whether or not Steven's value with Oklahoma City Thunder will start to go down when OKC realizes that no one's going to trade for him at what they're asking, especially considering the size of Adams' contract. And I do want to say that for the Sacramento Kings, trading for Steven Adams would go a very long way in helping the team reach the playoffs for the first time since 2006. Now though, for what will actually be our final story of the day. Even though the Los Angeles Lakers pulled off the blockbuster deal of the summer by trading away their entire young core minus Kyle Kuzma for Anthony Davis, that doesn't necessarily mean that Anthony Davis is going to be a Laker for the rest of his career, as the dude is still set to become an unrestricted free agent during the offseason of 2020, meaning that while we can't rule out the possibility of Anthony Davis returning to LA, we also can't rule out the possibility that Anthony Davis doesn't return to LA. As we got reports out yesterday saying that Anthony Davis is not fully committed to the Lakers because of LeBron James. And these reports come to us via Rick Boucher. Take a listen to what he had to say.
He is not fully committed to the Lakers. He and Rich Paul have said, when we get to next summer, he's going to explore free agency. He wants to see how this season goes because he knows, as every other guy knows, that when you play with LeBron James, if you win, it's because you're playing with LeBron James. If you lose or you fail to reach your target, it's because of you. It doesn't fall. We talked about this like the blame. Jeannie Buss is going to get blamed before LeBron James gets blamed if the Lakers don't succeed and meet expectations this year. That's just the way it goes. So if you are a star of Paul George's magnitude or Kawhi Leonard's magnitude, you feel you're on LeBron's level. You don't want to be the number two who then, if things don't go right, you end up holding the bag. Why do that? You want to be the number one guy, and you want to be able to create your universe. You don't get to do that with LeBron. And it's not LeBron's fault. It's just the magnitude of his success and the magnitude of his stardom, that no matter who you are, if you play with LeBron, you're going to be the second banana. And with the way that LeBron is beholden by a vast majority of the media, if things don't go well, it's going to be because LeBron didn't have enough help. And so that's what guys don't want to sign up for. And while I haven't talked to Paul George about that, I've heard it from enough other players that, yeah, that is a factor.
Now, these reports immediately remind me of what Kevin Durant said regarding the media around LeBron James. Back when Kevin Durant said that a lot of star players are turned off from the idea of playing alongside LeBron because of how toxic the media around LeBron is. It's not LeBron James himself's fault, it's the media surrounding LeBron's fault. That's pretty much what Rick Boucher was trying to say too. And all in all, I find this entire article kind of funny. Not necessarily what Rick Boucher said, but how the media put its twist on what Rick Boucher said. Once again, the articles are being titled, "Anthony Davis is not fully committed to the Lakers because of LeBron," when what it should have been called was "Anthony Davis is reportedly not fully committed to the Lakers because of the media surrounding LeBron." Those are two completely different things. And even back when Kevin Durant made his remarks about the media surrounding LeBron, you guys remember the media even tried to twist that in and of itself to say that players didn't want to play with LeBron because LeBron created the toxic environment. And that's not what Kevin Durant said at all, but that's what the media twisted it to. And then they even tried to get LeBron James with that spin as well. It just didn't work out for them. So you guys kind of see already what's going on here. There is no doubt that if the Lakers do fail to live up to the expectations, if they don't make it to the NBA Finals or even the Western Conference Finals, the media will of course crucify everyone on the Los Angeles Lakers minus LeBron. Is it fair? No, it's just the way that it works, and it's to no fault of LeBron James himself. The guy doesn't do anything, it's just how the media perceives him. It's the story that the media has for LeBron, and as sad as it is, especially if you're a Lakers fan to hear, that could be the thing that stops Anthony Davis from re-signing with the Lakers if things aren't to go as planned. Good news is you have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis. There's a very good chance that things go great for you guys this season. That though is actually going to do it for everything that we have to talk about today though. Hope you guys enjoy this new set. Yo, I'm working really hard to get things going before the season starts, because once the season starts, all bets are off. Things are about to be popping on this channel, and I am super excited for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are gonna have a fantastic rest of the day wherever you are watching. But that being said, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!